Yo, what's going on guys, it's Grouch here, and today I'm bringing you a different kind of video. I haven't done one like this before as I can't interpret symbolism to save my life, but luckily I had a bit of help with this one, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Also, there's going to be some spoilers in here, obviously. An obvious symbol that is used throughout the Death Note series is the apple, which time and time again has been used to represent the Death Note itself. In the biblical sense, the apple represents temptation leading back to the original sin and the book of Genesis. I'm sure everyone here and their grandmother knows about the story of Adam and Eve. In this case, the Death Note, which is dropped down by godlike beings, becomes a temptation for light Yagami. The Death Note was never meant for humans, much like the forbidden fruit that tempted Adam and Eve. In both instances, we see two innocent parties fall victim to temptation. We also see the apple being referenced heavily throughout the anime's first opening theme song, which just happens to support this. 5 seconds in, you can see the apple being used to recreate a darker version of Michelangelo's painting, Creation of Adam. In this particular frame, we see Ryuk handing Light an apple as Light reaches out to grab it. These two images side by side are the opposite of each other. In one image, we have God giving life to Adam, while in the other we have Ryuk, a death god, handing Light the Death Note. Funny enough, the idea for the apple was actually chosen at random, as confirmed by series creator Sugumi Oba in an interview, as he simply liked how it contrasted with Ryuk's black design. Also found in the opening theme song, Naomi Misori and Ray Pember are used to symbolize the Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ. The position that the characters are put in is a reference to another of Michelangelo's art pieces, this one being the famous sculpture La Pieta. Naomi holds the dead body of her fiancé like the Virgin Mary is shown holding the body of Jesus Christ. You're probably asking, how was her fiancé like Jesus? Well, you could say that Ray acted as a sacrificial lamb to Naomi, Elle, and the rest of the investigation team, by allowing them to get closer to the truth. Knowing very well that what he was doing was dangerous and could potentially get him killed, he still decided to pursue Kira, all for the sake of justice. As for Naomi, she handled his death with grace and composure, much like the elegance of the Virgin Mary. Throughout history, doves have been used to symbolize the Holy Spirit and or to add godly effect. Again, in the opening song, an image of Light is shown looking downwards at the city as a flock of doves fly up behind him. Now, this can be interpreted in two ways. On one hand, this sort of image adds to Light's god complex. The doves behind him represent the Holy Spirit, which gives you a sense of what Light thinks about himself and his beliefs of what's best for mankind. On the other hand, we can interpret this to be as Light's loss of innocence, as we see doves flying away from his red ominous looking shadow in the background. Now, getting away from the opening, let's talk about a bit of the symbolism within the anime. Now, I don't know about you, but for the longest time this scene, which takes place in episode 25 of Death Note, always left me feeling puzzled. It was like, why? As it turns out, it is actually meant to be a biblical reference to the story of Judas and Jesus involving the Last Supper. The washing of feet was considered to be one of the lowliest tasks a person can do, which is why it is a very powerful gesture for Jesus to partake in this action. In the Bible, one of the apostles, Judas, agrees to turn Jesus into the chief priest to be murdered in exchange for 30 pieces of silver. Jesus, being the omnipotent figure he is, obviously becomes aware of the betrayal, yet he still washes Judas's feet. As I said, the scene always came off as rather odd, but making this connection, it all begins to make a lot more sense. Elle is cleaning Light's feet in the same manner that Jesus washed Judas's. He has single-handedly managed to put together that Light is Kira and that he has betrayed Elle as well as the investigation team, but knows that he will never be able to prove it to the rest of the world, and it would only be a matter of time before Kira would choose to kill him. To make things even scarier, Elle tells Light, "You and I will be parting ways soon," and shortly after, Rem does kill him, meaning that all of Elle's suspicions were correct, even his own death. Time and time again throughout the anime, we see a number of characters have different colored, for lack of better words, auras, meaning that they are shown to have different colored eyes and hair than what we are used to seeing, most commonly when a character is involved in inner dialogue. Light is shown as red, which is associated with anger and aggression, but in anime it is also common to use to signify evil intentions. L's blue aura signifies tranquility and wisdom. It is also the color used for introverts. The young rookie Machida has been shown as yellow, which is often associated with hope and curiosity. Misa Amane's character, on the other hand, is a bit more interesting, as her hair is shown as blue while her eyes are red. I think we can all agree that Misa is definitely not the calm and wise type. Instead, I believe blue was chosen solely to show the viewer that she was not completely corrupt like Light. If you think about it, she is probably a great depiction of what most viewers felt like while watching the show. You really didn't know which side to root for, as there's no definitive right or wrong. The final scene of Light Yagami's death shows Light struggling to get away after being exposed as Kira. As he climbs a flight of stairs, he has a heart attack and dies midway. If you recall, at the beginning of the series, Ryuk warns Light that holders of the Death Note would be unable to go to either heaven or hell. This is beautifully depicted in the anime's ending, where we see Light die. It is meant to symbolize the stairway to heaven, which he was unable to reach. This scene, by the way, only ever happened in the anime. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video today. I know this is different from my usual stuff, but I don't mind trying new things here on my channel. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe and drop me a like, as it lets me know you guys enjoy the content that I bring you. Did you catch any of these? Or maybe you know something I don't. Be sure to share your ideas with us in the comments below. A big thank you to everyone who chooses to support me over on Patreon, and with that being said guys, I will thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.